Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing Katniss Everdeen in Catching Fire, her kind of capital dress. I try to stay as close to the books as possible. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Alright, so I'm going to start off with my e.l.f. Glow Lotion, and I'm going to use this as my primer today. I imagine because they did so many beauty treatments on Katniss that they would try to keep her skin looking glowing and fresh. And I also used my favorite foundation combo. We should all know it by now. And I'm using a dense buffing brush to buff it into my skin because in the Capitol, they want you to know that you're wearing makeup. Because that's the in trend there. So I'm just using that and buffing it into my skin as best as I can to try to blend it onto the sides of my jaw and my hairline. And then I'm going to use concealer to help conceal any dark circles that I may have. Once again, the Capitol is all about perfection and beauty trends, so we're adding a lot of concealer on today. And then I'm using my e.l.f. cream blush in Peach Perfection. I noticed that Katniss had a ton of peach blush on in the scene where she and Peeta are riding in the chariot in the Capitol. So I'm going to add a lot of that on. And then I'm going to set everything in place with my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder in the shade Porcelain to make sure all the cream products don't move around. Then next I'm going to be brushing up my brow hairs with a spoolie brush, and then I'm going to use the exact same palette I used in my other tutorial, my other Katniss tutorial, and I'm using the same three taupey brown charcoal shades to fill in my brows, and this time we want it to look like we drew on our brows. We want to look like somebody spent time plucking and reshaping our brows this time, so add a lot of this on. We're not going for subtlety here. And then next, this is new. I'm using my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Tinted Brow Gel in the shade Medium Brown. Oops, got on my eyebrow. Once again, we're not going for subtlety. And then next, I'm going to use an eye primer. You want to use an eye primer for this look. Because these eyeshadows need to be poppin' in this look. So just add that on, and then I'm going to set it using a white bone shade. This is basically straight up white because I was super pale today. So I'm just using a dense eyeshadow brush to pack that on. And then this is something new. So I'm using a eye crayon, and instead of using straight up black for this, I'm using a more purpley gray shade. It's kind of like a bruise shade. So I'm using that as like a sticky base for our black eyeshadows. And so I'm just going to kind of sculpt that to my lid, and then I'm going to push it around and kind of, set it into the shape that I want using a flat, using a little flat brush. This one's by Wet n Wild. And it's just going to help act as a sticky base for our black eyeshadows. And then for the shade I'm using is from my Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. Sadly, that is discontinued. Any black eyeshadow that you have that has kind of like either silver or gold or even sometimes green glitters or reflections in it will work just fine. I noticed that Katniss's eyeshadow wasn't just straight up pitch black. It had a little bit of a shift to it. So I'm just going to pack that on using a flat brush, and then I'm going to buff it out with a fluffier brush and a gray shade, like a taupey gray shade. And this is going to help buff it out and create that cat eye shape that we're going for. And this, in my opinion, is what I found works best for hooded eyes, for my eyes, for black smoky eyes, because they're really hard to do on hooded eyes. So you want to make sure everything is symmetrical. And then we're going to tightline our lower waterline with a black liner. And we're going to go into the inner corners to kind of create a cat eye, almost feline look on the inner corners of our eyes. And then I'm going to smudge it out using the same taupey gray shade that we used before. And I'm just going to use that on a little push liner brush to kind of help smudge it out. And then you're going to take a fluffy pencil brush and you're going to look up into a mirror. That's why I'm looking up. And we're going to take the same black eyeshadow and we're going to smudge it out even further. And this is going to add so much drama to our eyes. And then with what's ever left on your brush after you're done with that, you're going to make the little flick and almost kind of like Cleopatra eyeliner. And you're going to curl it up. And then we're going to do some more little swirls using a bronzy gold shadow. This is what's really going to tie the look together. So just kind of take a little eyeliner brush or a nail art brush or whatever you have on handy that's really small. And we're going to do these little gold swirls or little gold details around the side of our black wing liner. So you want one black wing and then you want two or three gold swirls. So one on the bottom, one on the top, and one in the middle. And then next, I'm going to add that exact same goldish bronze eyeshadow onto our inner corners to really help make our eyes pop. And then I'm going to curl on my lashes, and you want to add on a ton of mascara. Once again, we're not being subtle with this look. You can add false eyelashes if you want to. I personally hate wearing false eyelashes because they irritate my eyes, but you do it if you want to. And then next for lipstick, I'm going for like a muted gold-ish nude color, so I'm using Java by Wet n Wild. And then I'm going to be adding a gloss on top of it. Now for highlighter, of course we're using the favorite ColourPop Flexitarian highlighter, and you want to add a lot of it. Like, I want it to look like I had strips of aluminum foil on the sides of my cheeks and on my nose. So add so much highlighter. Like, you could not have enough of this stuff. Alright, and now for accessories, add on your silver headpiece. I made mine out of an old headband and some tin foil. I even added the little feather. And then the clips I got from Michael's in the bridal section, so you can probably still find them there too. And just kind of, adjust your hair a bit, and yeah, that's it. And you're done.